Welcome to Flashback. We are looking at Dino Crisis. Dino Crisis on the PlayStation 1 is a survival horror video game developed and published by Capcom in 1999. It's the first installment in the Dino Crisis series and is developed by the same team behind Capcom's Resident Evil series. You only have to play it to see that it's basically that. Shares many similarities with it. The story follows Regina, a special ops agent sent with a team to investigate a secluded island research facility, and they find a place overrun with dinosaurs. Instead, this is where it does differ from Resident Evil. Instead of the pre-rendered backgrounds of Resident Evil games, Dino Crisis is using an original real-time engine with 3D environments. And gameplay features traditional survival horror mechanics, including action and puzzles. And the idea behind it was supposed to be more visceral, with the dinosaurs being quick. Capcom would later market the game as panic horror, not survival horror. It was ported to the Sega Dreamcast and Microsoft Windows in the year 2000 and was re-released for the PlayStation Network in 2006. Two different versions for the Game Boy Color were in development, but both were cancelled. Dino Crisis, a game I'm very, very familiar with. In fact, I probably completed it, maybe about 6 months ago. You know, it's a game played to death, you know. We're big fans of the Resident Evil series. We've done almost every Resident Evil game, barring 2, in the Flashback series. The only reason we haven't done 2 is because the remake came out and it felt weird, silly going back to Resident Evil 2.
Resident Evil 2, is it?
Yeah. It's the only one we haven't done in the Flashbacks. We've done 1. You can go watch 1. Oh, we haven't done 3 either. We've done 1, 4, Survivor, Code Veronica. So there's a couple more still. But, you know, when you talk about Dino Crisis, it's inevitable you have to mention Resident Evil. Because it's effectively the same game, but with dinosaurs.
You stole my line. That was my line.
Oh, so that's your first...
Well, yeah, because, I mean, basically, that's what it is. It's Resident Evil with dinosaurs.
Which is both a good and a bad thing.
Yes.
That's the thing, I have it in both.
Yep. So actually, yeah.
It's simply a fact, it's Resident Evil with dinosaurs. What's not to like? Big fans of the gameplay style.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, I love the game. Well, I mean, it's like, I've
better than Resident Evil?
Oh, no.
Any of the Resident Evils?
Gun Survivor ones?
Oh, no, that doesn't count. I mean, not the Gun Survivor ones. I mean, the traditional Resident Evils. The correct answer here is no.
Number 3, I would say.
No!
Number 3, disappointing.
Disappointing.
Out of the lot of them, well, actually, so number 3 and number 6.
Oh, we are not count right. We're talking about
so
the ones that follow the graphical style.
Okay, well then,
so 1, 2, and 3.
Well, number 3 is disappointing. Let's face it.
But you think Dino Crisis is better?
Better than number 3. He's not better than 1 or 2.
I would have agreed with you once upon a time, and then replaying 3, I found 3 to be an incredibly well done horror, and I think we've all forgotten how good the Nemesis was. Particularly if you played the remake and you have Mr. X following you around.
Yep.
The groundwork was laid for that with the Nemesis. Resident Evil 3, while I agree with you, disappointing because it's a follow-up to Resident Evil 2.
Yep.
Even though it's more of a side project. And 4's arguably the proper sequel.
Yep.
3's underappreciated. We'll do 3 in a flashback in the future, definitely, because I think we've got a lot to say about it. But yeah, so we have that. Fantastic voice acting.
Yeah.
It's cheesy dialogue, but the voice actors, in particular, I'd say Regina does really, really good. I'd say probably the worst voice actor. Dr. Kirk's terrible.
Yes.
He's got this really crap villainous thing going on, and Gabe is a bit one note, but then that kind of is supposed to be. But overall, I think the voice acting is good.
Yeah, well, I mean, again, comparing that to Resident Evil,
of course,
the voice acting of Resident Evil is embarrassing.
The original.
Yes.
Well, of course, we all know that.
Yeah, I mean, just like your basic of, I can use the rope to go down the ladder.
Was famous for, but I would say the better contrast is always Dino Crisis with Resident Evil 2.
Yes.
They're the two contrasts.
Yeah, definitely.
I think you have to almost eliminate Resident Evil 1 out of this and just compare the two.
I suppose Resident Evil 1 was more of like a tester, to test the waters.
Well, going with the date when Dino Crisis was released, it's in the ballpark. Resident Evil 2 was, 1998? So Dino Crisis was 1999.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
I would say, talking about Resident Evil 2, we're stuck in Resident Evil because of this. Dino Crisis, in this regard, is better than Resident Evil 2. In one only regard. Felt more survival horror than Resident Evil 2.
Yes, I'll agree with that.
There you go.
And the reason why I agree with that is I don't know about other people. In Resident Evil, you'd walk into a room, you'd hear a zombie trotting along, and then you could literally just walk past them all.
2, yeah?
Well, 1, 2, or 3.
Stop banging on about 1. We'll talk about 2, the comparative 1.
You can literally just walk straight past them.
Yep.
Okay. But Dino Crisis, you walk in the room, if you have a raptor running at you, you can't stand still.
No, you can't.
You've got to run because it is going to be on top of you. It's going to be chasing you everywhere with the zombies. They're just walking.
Also, the time of that you won't be able to outrun them. No. If you have to get down a long hallway, it will catch you.
And the size of them too, they block the entire hallway.
Yeah.
So you can't run past them. You physically have to literally either try and get them blocked somewhere or actually physically shoot them. With the zombies, you can literally just walk in and out.
It's not even so much that. I'd say Resident Evil 2 had so much ammunition that it never became an issue, whereas Dino Crisis ammunition is limited, and you were always trying to desperately rely on keeping your powerful darts for when you really needed them. I don't even remember how well you don't remember Dino Crisis, but the biggest benefit could be to yourself was the laser grids.
Yes.
And how desperately running to get behind one of them.
And hoping you turn it on before the dinosaur jumps through.
Or that you accidentally hit the wrong side and then poof, block yourself in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, definitely.
Another thing I really like is multiple endings, as well as branching paths, decisions you make, which affect those endings. While not massively important and necessary, a nice touch. It's a nice touch.
Yeah, again, that's one of my likes too. I mean, there's like 3 or 4 different endings and different sides you can do. I mean, I've done one recently, and I was actually going to start again to do another path because I think all paths lead to the same, but it's the fact that as you can either just decide
who survives. It's about who survives.
Yes, who survives. Yeah.
You can I know Gabe is one of the major branch parts. He can survive and not you can. You can literally make it Regina and Rick are the only ones who survive. You can make it Regina, Rick, and Gabe. You can make it Regina, the Doctor, and Rick, and you can make it all of them.
Exactly.
And all of them is the best ending you can possibly get. Yeah. The T-Rex. There you go. It's as simple as that. The T-Rex. Awesome. Fucking T-Rex.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like, sort of there's scenes where you're running down and he's chasing you, where he breaks through the window.
Yep, the very first time,
grabs the body out, pulls the body, and then you got to fight the T-Rex.
Yep.
Again, it's tense, scary. I mean, if it's your first time playing the game, it'd be a shock to you.
Right. Are you done with your likes? You anything else to add with likes?
Yeah.
Because you just said something. That's the very first thing I'm going to bring up about dislike. They ruined it. They fucking ruined it. There's an introduction that shows you a T-Rex exists on this island, thus ruining the impact of that T-Rex's appearance later on. Why on earth would you do that? Have an introduction that shows the T-Rex is here, thus lessening. Because imagine you didn't even know that, and your first kind of dealings with velociraptors and stuff like that. And the very first time you go into that room, now it's still designed to shock and make you jump because it's a jump scare.
Of course.
But imagine how good that would have been had you not even known the T-Rex was there.
Oh yeah, definitely. It would have been more of a shock and surprise.
It would have been you'd have been like, fuck. And you know what I mean? Whereas you knew there was a T-Rex on an island.
I think it's the scene at the beginning of that where it's the opening scenes where the T-Rex runs through the woods and kills the guy.
Kills that guy who got blown off course.
I think it's just they had to do that.
No, they didn't.
To add more suspense to it.
No, they didn't. That ruins the suspense. That takes it away because it's like, oh yeah, he's a T-Rex. It's like Jurassic Park opening when they're flying towards the island, and then it's like, oh look, there's a T-Rex over there roaring.
True, yeah.
Ruins it. You know, do you know what I mean? Story-wise, gets really convoluted later on when Third Energy is introduced.
Yep.
And I don't even know if they knew what they were talking about half the time when they were talking about what Third Energy can and can't do.
Yeah.
Definitely. Really, really and it's boring. Let's be honest, it's boring. We need a reason for them to be there, and I get that.
Yes.
But the extra stuff where like, here's a Third Energy, you got to turn it off and all that, it's just like...
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think they were confused with that, definitely.
I think they were, yeah. Don't think they quite understood what they were writing there.
No.
A funny one, because it's a staple of this Dino Crisis, Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3. And it is basically, because their faces weren't able to emote, you couldn't do face... Everything is done with hand gestures. Yes. And not everyone talks and hands are this.
Yep.
We can do this, we can do that. Where's Gabe? And it's just like, whoa, calm it down. It's more of a jokey one because it is what it is. Their faces couldn't give emotion.
Yeah.
So you had to get it across through body gestures. Tough puzzles, man. This is a tough game.
Yeah.
When it comes to puzzles. particularly the codes.
Yeah. I mean, again, go back it's always going to go back to Resident Evil, but obviously Resident Evil, the puzzles were easy. They were they're straightforward. Literally pushing a statue off and picking up the eye and putting it in another eye. Or...
You're still stuck on Resident Evil 1.
Well, okay, that's Resident Evil 1. I mean, puzzle-wise, I mean, like I said, the codes. I think those ones with the tubes. You've got to get the right colours, get the tubes done.
Yeah, there's a couple like that. There's not all difficulty, but I do think some of them, particularly when it comes to the codes and trying to work out, because you had to work them out. They were brain teasers almost, which is where the problem lies. Just finding items and working out where they go. That's the Resident Evil way.
Yeah.
An actual brain taxer where it's a code and you've got to work out what that is. Fucking hell. I don't find that fun.
No.
Bland locations. Let's contrast this to Resident Evil 2. Now, I get it. It's in a lab. There's only so much you can do. And part of the facility looks all right.
Yeah.
But most of this game is set in ugly-ass labs and corridors and nothing really going on.
Yeah, it's basically the same room every time.
Yeah.
So it's like they decided, do you know what? It's just a cheaper option. Let's just basically repeat everything over and over again.
I do understand the limitations. Here's the thing, and you think back to Resident Evil, but then you look at Resident Evil 2's lab, and you think, God, at least that looks like variety. And
it was different rooms, and there was obviously, you had the mansion, you had under the mansion, you had going outside.
Resident Evil 2.
Sorry, mansion, police station, sorry.
Yeah, I'm talking about the lab, the last part of it.
Yeah, but the rooms are still different though.
Yeah, there's variety and different areas of the lab and stuff like that. Dino Crisis never felt that.
No.
Swear, if you mention Resident Evil 1 once more time.
Confused between 1 and 2 then.
Yeah. And the last one I'm going to say about dislikes, because there's quite a few about Dino Crisis, truthfully. Lack of dinosaur variety. Now, I get it. There aren't like loads of dinosaurs you could really use in this style of gameplay, but what do we actually have here? Velociraptors, Pterodactyls, T-Rex, and the weird one I don't know the name of. Oh, we also get little pygmy things.
Yeah.
And then there's a big one at the end that pops up in the last areas of the lab. And they're slow and they're really powerful. I don't know what they're called, but I'm pretty sure that's it for Dino Crisis.
It's literally
about
4 or 5 dinosaurs.
Yeah. That's...
Yeah, I mean, I thought they could have used a lot more. I thought it could have even gone a bit clever and maybe done like a water scene.
Yeah, that could have been. Yeah, that could have been cool.
Like a water dinosaur,
Yeah, but even stuff in the background. Had you sort of seeing like as a pre-rendered background, a Stegosaurus.
Yeah,
or in the background, not as part of the necessary gameplay, just to make you go, oh, it really has transport.
Yeah.
Whereas this just felt like a couple of dinosaurs had found their door and gone.
Pretty much,
Yeah. That's it. That's all I got.
I've got probably another 1 or 2, but
go on.
Again, going back to Resident Evil, the same.
2?
No, all of them.
Right.
Capcom just must love to drive you insane with the door scenes.
Yeah,
Half an hour, open the door, and then literally. Again, Dino Crisis was the same thing.
Yeah.
Open the doors. You start literally just. Now, I always thought to myself, do you know what? If that's in real life, I know it's a computer game, but that dinosaur just ripped to shreds.
Yeah.
Take half an hour to open the door, you're dead.
It's obviously it was to do with loading times on Resident Evil and stuff like that, so you can't be too critical of it in that sense. But yeah, it is one of the most infuriating things about playing those games.
And another one for me was the healing. Again, Resident Evil, it was pretty simple. You had your green herbs.
Oh, you're right. This is complex.
Now, you had your packs. You had your S, your M, your L, your Ys. One healed your bleeding. One
hemostats.
It's just... I spent literally, the first time I played the game, I spent literally the first hour just reading what does what.
I know what you're talking about. And I remember hemostats being kind of binded as this whole, if you bleed, dinosaurs will be able to track you.
Yes,
That's bullshit, though. Because they can't follow you through doors. If they're in the hallway, as soon as you move, bleeding or not, they're gonna come after you.
Exactly. Dinosaurs move by sound and smell.
Yeah, but it's still a PlayStation 1 game. They were never going to have that. That's something that you could believe would happen now in a modern console, but certainly not back then.
No, exactly.
No, it's a brilliant one actually. Yeah, unnecessarily complex healing where it's like, you can get a medium plus by combining things. I don't mind the idea of doing that combination because it's just herbs.
Of course.
But it was certainly not as clear cut as herb mixing was.
No.
And the same applied to the ammos where sometimes you're like, oh great, I've just wasted a load of combination things to create another sleeping dart.
Yes.
Woo! When all you really wanted was the fucking red dart that killed him.
Or if you make a mistake, you just used all your ammo to make a sleeping dart. And you just lost all your ammo.
Yeah. Okay then. Favorite moments, scenes, bits of music. Got anything specific?
Again, probably just. I mean, being chased by a T-Rex is pretty cool. It's intense. But obviously it's a PS1 game, so obviously it was limited. You know, but I mean, being chased by a T-Rex was pretty cool. You know, the music was suspense, kept you on your edge.
So let's talk about each. There's 4 specific times I remember with the T-Rex. 4. The very first in the window, where ultimately all you really need to do is shoot a couple of times in the head, it'll fuck off.
Yeah.
You get the one that's on like a gantry walkway where it destroys part of it and you have to run to the other end.
Yep.
I think it might be... Is it a button bashing moment?
It's a button bashing,
yeah, so that's shit. Then you got the one that's got a cutscene before it on the airfield, the landing pad, helipad. And in that's terrible because all you have to do is effectively run around in a circle until the cutscene occurs.
Pretty much, yeah.
The last one is the one that matters, which is the one in the docks. Yeah. And again, while it's running around in a circle, you run, you wait till the thing flashes up, you turn around and shoot with a grenade launcher.
Yeah.
I think that's probably the best one. And it's the one that I've actually mentioned as being the best battle with the T-Rex.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I don't mind it like this really because the idea is the T-Rex supposed to be powerful.
Yeah, of course.
I really like the slow build at the start. Now, even by spoiling it with, oh, here's a fucking T-Rex, meaning there's dinosaurs, and it's called Dino Crisis, the slow build-up to the Velociraptor reveal, where at first you're just looking around, and then it's like, oh, someone was shooting here. Yep. You go and do a puzzle, and then you find, like, you ripped up part of a person.
Yeah,
and then you hear Gabe getting attacked, you come back out, he's gone, and there's a massive hole in the fence, and then you see the body's been dragged along the floor, leading to the first Velociraptor. That's a cool start.
Yeah, definitely.
Great soundtrack.
Yeah.
Dino Crisis is a great soundtrack.
Brilliant, yeah.
Now, those who've watched previous videos with the Resident Evil ones will know I often come up to this last point about the music specifically. Capcom did great music at these times during these series of games, Resident Evil and all that. However, there's one specific thing that they were kings of. And it was end credit music scenes. So, think of Resident Evil 1's guitar. Yep. Think of Resident Evil 2's variation ones. One that's soft and slow and one that's guitar. Think of Resident Evil 3's got a wonderful piano one. Resident Evil 4 is called Sorrow. Fantastic one that plays over it. Dino Crisis has one. I think it's called Resurrection. Or I'll be playing it in the video anyway.
Yeah.
But Dino Crisis's credit soundtrack music is one of my all-time favourites. Wonderful. They were the kings of that shit once upon a time, man. Once upon a time, you know. Yeah.
Hard times have changed.
You say that, but they had such a resurgence with Resident Evil 7 and Resident Evil 2 Remake.
Actually, I mean, unfortunately, I haven't played 7, so I can't judge that one, I'm afraid. But obviously, and also the remake, again, I mean, it's the same game, really. Just a remake.
It's really not.
Well,
it's really not.
Better graphics.
There you go. There's our flashback for Dino Crisis. I was going to say Dinosaur. Dino Crisis. Make sure you check out the other videos. Thank you for watching and hit that like and subscribe button.